What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. So this is the part in the Mountain Blade Bannerlord series where I start knowing what I'm doing. Those first 4 episodes were recorded in batch on release day so that we could experience it first impression style with each other. But at this point, I'm recording the 5th episode, and I was kind of thinking about what I wanted to do because I have about 60 hours in game now. I've been streaming it pretty obsessively over on Twitch, and so I'd figure I'd kind of make this an episode about learning. And this will be an episode where I sort of talk about all the things that I've learned along the way and maybe give you some tips if you're just starting out with the game. So I figured a good title for it would just be like tips and tricks or something like that because I'm definitely further than I was. I've decided there was a 5th episode where I just kind of rattled around for a little bit. I decided to omit that. Because, you know, nobody wants to watch you kind of, I suppose there's some people out there that want to watch me figure things out, but at this point, I've got like 60 or 70 hours in-game, and so, I know what I'm doing now. So anyways, welcome on back to Mountain Blade Bannerlord. I hope you guys enjoyed it. In the previous episodes, we had kind of gotten our footing, and we had focused on trying to learn how to play the game. And now that I've successfully done that, we'll talk about all the things that you need to do. Luckily, we have a decent amount of money right now, so we're rocking along. I don't know what faction we decided we were going to be. Taking a look at what we have laying around, it looks like I picked up some Vlandian recruits. Looks like I have some Botanians. It looks like I have some Imperials. We've got a little bit of everything. First things first, let's go up to Bantsith. I want to get rid of these prisoners because they're going to make me move too slowly. And then we're going to talk about one of the first things that you really want to do in Bannerlord when you start out playing, because it actually is pretty pivotally important. My recommendation to you would be to come up to Botania somewhere, and you want to pick up as many Botanian ponies as you possibly can. Nice, dude. We got one in roguery. Selling your prisoners will give you roguery, which is not super useful until you have to sneak into a city that you're at war with. Once you have to sneak into a city that you're at war with, roguery, super useful. But up until that moment, not super useful. Just something to keep in mind is that you should probably be selling prisoners every now and again just to level that on up. Let's take a look at our stat spread right now. We've got a point in writing that we can throw in to give our horse some extra HP. Definitely worth it. We've got ourselves some one-handed ability. Got ourselves some tactics, some leadership. Actually, we've got a pretty decent spread of skills right now. I'm not feeling too bad about it. We'll more than likely want to pick up some kind of archery or some kind of bow along the way, since that's where the point spread is at. There's only one Botanian pony right here. I'm going to go ahead and pick him up. What kind of horse do I have? Use the saddle horse instead. Thank you. All right, so horses. On the subject of horses, I've done extensive research here in the last 60 hours, and by extensive research, I mean I've kind of felt the situation out, and I've kind of been like, well, does it work like this? Does it not work like this? Sumpter horses carry a lot of weight, but they don't really increase your speed, has been my experience. Instead, what you want to do is you want to have a Botanian pony or better for every single infantryman inside of your army. If you're struggling to catch bandits and get around the map in a rapid way, buy horses. There is a caveat to that. If you have more horses than you have soldiers in your army, then you'll actually lose speed, because then your army has to manage the herds and basically do a horse cattle drive type deal, in which case it'll slow you down. But so long as the amount of Botanian ponies or better you have in your inventory do not exceed the amount of infantry that you have, you should be okay. And you should get a pretty considerable speed boost. Every single horse will more than likely increase your speed by 0.1 or so when it's matched up with an infantryman. Another important fact to know as you're going through the game is if you're having trouble leveling up your troops and you're having trouble, getting certain things done, what you can do is when you go up against looters, looters are physically incapable of killing your soldiers in combat if you auto-resolve. This is a neat little trick that wasn't immediately apparent to me, but once I started doing it, my laziness actually turned out to be really, really profitable, because you get double or triple XP if you just auto-resolve combat for all of the units that took part in that combat. And so, if you look right there, look how many upgrades we got. It's the fastest way to upgrade your units. If you, wipe, or if you started out from Tier 1, that's the best way to do it, is just track down looter groups and start smacking them. Start smacking them and taking them out. I'm going to kind of talk about the things that I've learned about each system as we go along in this episode. I'm kind of drawing a blank right now for what I want to talk to. So as things refresh my memory, and as I notice things, as we're playing the game, that's the point at which I'll start talking about the various systems that we've divined and fiddled with. Hey, another 3 upgrades right there. Very nice. Not going to take the looters prisoner. They're not really worth that much money right now, and I'd like to maintain my speed, since speed is kind of a problem. We've got Vlandian Levy crossbowmen. We've got some Vlandian little dudes over here. I will have an Imperial archer. We will take these Batanian clan warriors up and turn them into wood runners. These guys are very, very, like, the Batanians are really good at skirmishing. They're not good at a lot of other stuff, right? The Batanians are probably actually one of the best armies in the game, but their skirmishers are their high point. Their max level skirmishers are disgusting. However, I would avoid the raider tree. So you have a choice right here to split them between raiders and skirmishers. My experience has been, when you go down the raider tree, they end up being falksmen. The problem with the falksmen is they have no shield. And so unless you put them into a separate combat grouping that stays behind another grouping that has shields, they tend to get one-shotted by javelins and crossbows and things very, very easily. So instead, my recommendation is that you go in this direction and you go with the veteran skirmishers down to Wildlings. The Wildlings are horrifically destructive. They're really, really good. The Batanians also have a hidden unit called a Fion, which comes from these dudes right here, these Batanian highborn youths. This is the only way the Batanians can get archers, is if you get Batanian highborn youths. They're a rare spawn inside of cities when you go to recruit. These guys will turn into Batanian Fions, which I think personally are probably the best unit in the game. They're very, very comparable to like Vaegir Marksmen if you've played Banner, if you've played Warband. So anyways, just things to keep in mind if you're playing as Batania. I don't think we are, but let's take a look over here and let's just kind of see if we can do any light trading and make money, because trading tends to be where the money's at in this game. We got 8 saddle horses right there. I'm going to spend about 1,000 to pick up 6 of those. And then we're going to take a look at some of these goodies over here. We can sell those at Carbansith. That's too pricey right there. That's kind of expensive. Normally you want to see oil around like 50 or 60 if you're going to pick it up. That pottery is pretty dirt nasty cheap though. So my suggestion would be that we pick up the pottery. And I think Marunath is usually super inflated on prices. So if we take the pottery over here, I've got a sneaking suspicion that we're going to make a lot of money off that pottery. Pottery caps out at like 100 dinars a piece, and we just bought for like 40, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be an equitable trade right there. I think we should be able to make some money off of it. Let's see. 67 over here. It's not super great. I guess in my playthrough, the numbers are inflated a little bit. We still made a profit, and we still got some skill points in trading for that. Like, I think we made about 300 bucks, so that's all right. 300 bucks for spending an eighth of a second just like running over here is really not that big of a deal. Other things that we can trade around right here. I'm trying to get my financial base all nice and solidified out. Having money is a really good plan in this game. We're a little bit low on grain. We are, oof, our food is super overpriced. Never mind. I was gonna buy food here, but it seems to be a little pricey, so I'm not gonna do that. We've got furs, we've got hides, but it looks like the market is mostly pretty expensive over here, so we're not going to fiddle with it. Instead, we're going to go bully these looters over here. Hey, you, come here. Alright, so let's bully these looters real fast. It's important to know that the auto-resolve in this game is actually better than the auto-resolve in Warband. It's still not very good. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's still not going to give you, like, a logical result. Like, I probably could have wiped that fight if I had manually played it. Without taking a single casualty. But that being said, it is a little better than Warband, which would be like you send 40 Huskarls against 10 looters and somehow you lose 5 Huskarls. Just the way that it goes. We'll go ahead and resolve those right there. Alright, looks good. We've got Imperial Peasants over here. Imperial Peasants are the upgrade tree for hired blades from Warband, in case you were wondering. There's 3 different trees for the Imperial Peasants, for all the peasants really. So with the peasants, they will either become cavalry, which are okay. They don't have like a super good cavalry, but they turn into kind of like these chainmail-clad hired blades on horses. I would prefer that if you're going to go with Imperial Peasants, you should probably take them down to the top tier of crossbowmen or down to the top tier of infantrymen. That tends to be the way to get it done. We're kind of like full up right now, though, so I can't really take... Ooh, meat. Nice. Very good. We will play around with smithing today, I hope. One word of advice that I have for you is if you have a lot of wounded like we do right now, go to a city and wait there for some time. It'll increase your healing factor by +5, which actually is like 6 times the healing speed that you would have on the road. And then on top of that, every single time one of your units gets healed, you actually level up and you get medicine points, which will make you heal even faster in the future. So, like, that's probably a good thing to level up. If you can get your medicine up to 30 or 40, it's usually a good plan. Right now, we're kind of hard capped somewhere around 40 or so. So we're not going to be able to do too much with it, but extra skill points are extra skill points. The progression in this game has been slowed down pretty considerably from Warband. So you really kind of want to hoard skill points wherever you can get them. Lauric of the Forest People, if you're ever wondering who these guys are right here that are riding around, there's like Lauric of the Forest People, and there's like the Swamp Runners or whatever else. They're mercenary bands, actually. These guys will join factions, leave factions, and they're just like you. Like when you sign up for a faction to be like a hired blade or a mercenary just collecting a wage every single day, they're exactly like you. These are basically NPC player characters almost. You can kind of have rivalries and things like that with them. They'll declare war on you. They're basically rival clans that have no affiliation to any faction outside of these seasonal wars that they decide to jump in on. There's Ingolther. Should probably talk to him about the Battle of Pendraic, except that I can't catch him, so never mind. We got to focus on getting a few. We're at 5.7 right now. If I could get our land speed up to like 6.5, just through equitable horse trade, I think that would be the best idea. Let's go ahead and throw a couple more troops at these guys. Oh, we took 5 wounded right there. Rough. We got scuffed a little bit. I'm headed up to a town, so I'll take those guys just to farm up on a little bit of roguery. And then we'll go up to Carbanseth. There's a hideout over there. I'm not really going to fiddle with it. We could talk. Actually, that's a pretty easy hideout. I may go for it. So whenever you kill a hideout and you duel the bandit boss, you have a chance for the bandit boss's armor to drop. And the bandit bosses have like kind of like unique armors that are hard to get your hands on. And so I would recommend doing that from time to time when you have a second. 499 bucks. It's not too bad. Let me lock all this stuff so I can just click the button up there and get rid of it all. Hey, cheap Botanian ponies. Very nice. That's what I was hoping to see. And we also have some very cheap Midlands palfreys. Yeah, let's get the Midland palfreys too. So we have 11, 12, 16, 17. 17 horses. Looks good. All right, so now we should be really, really fast. And as you see, 6.2, up from 5.7. Very nice. And so we fixed one of the fundamental issues that we needed to fix. Is there a... Nope. There's no tournament here in Fort... Wow, dude. Sturgy is kind of like taking territory in this playthrough. It's interesting seeing the way that maps play out because like every game is like different for me so far. Like in my playthrough, I'm a Sturgian and Sturgia has lost like literally everything up here except for like these last couple holdouts over on the right. And then like my other playthrough that I'm doing on stream, like the Botanians have literally conquered like everything, but now Vlandia hit them on this side. And so like they took a whole bunch of Imperial land over here, but now Vlandia is pushing in from the west, and I think they took Pencanic. And so it's just like it's interesting to see the way the map changes dynamically in between playthroughs and like try to get a feel for whatever the diplomacy of the day is. Now let's take a trade over here. I think we have time to trade. I would love to pick up some more palfreys, but until we have more units and we have a larger unit cap, it's not really going to be an option. We've got beer, we've got wine. We can sell the wine in Maronath for a decent amount if we can get down there before our troops drink it all. We can sell that in Pencanic for a pretty decent price. Hides. Oh. Put the wine back. Put the wine back. We're going to Pencanic instead. There we go. All right, down to Pencanic. Let's see how much money we can make here. I would definitely recommend flipping products as much as possible in the early game in order to make money. It is the most effective way to get money. Once you've got about 1,500 dinars, my advice is to run in between Carbanseth and Pencanic. So Pencanic will have clay and pottery, and then they will have her furs and hides right there. And so, like, kill some looters for a couple days, do the little run back and forth, kill some looters for a couple days, do the little run back and forth. Each time you'll net yourself like an extra 1,000, and so, like, it's worth doing. Oh my god, we're about to make money off these furs. Yep, we just got paid. We got 4 skill points for that, too. Man. Very nice. And because we leveled up trade, we now get one of these little sigils as well. You have 2 choices right here. You have a Praiser, which decreases the trade penalty for equipment. That means that like the stuff you loot from battles and whatnot, the swords, the shields, things of that nature. If you were interested in flipping swords, you can do that. I've done it, where you can buy like, so one place will have like 9 falchions, and you can buy like 3 of them and then take them to another place and make a profit. It's not really worth it. I would recommend taking wholesaler. It just flat out makes you make like 5% more money on products. Like it's really good if you flip stuff a lot like I do. It doesn't seem like 5% is much, but actually it can make or break a run if you run into issues. That 5% is really, really important on a run where you got like waylaid by bandits, or, you know, your troop payments decided to be higher than you expected them to be. That 5%, if you're making like a 4,000 dinar trade, it matters. It adds up pretty quickly, and so like it can actually take you from the red to the black pretty quickly. We also have an attribute point. I don't really know where I want to put that. For attribute points, I think there's a strong argument to be made for endurance, because riding is a very useful skill, as is athletics. But, I mean, honestly, I think they did a better job balancing the abilities in this game, and so sometimes it's really, really hard to choose where I want to put things. Yeah, apply the changes, and then we need to upgrade some units. So we've got a veteran infantryman. Look at this badass right here with his little woolly middies. We can upgrade these 2 guys real fast, and I will take them up to skirmisher level. Very nice. Battanian Highborn Youth will become a Battanian Highborn Warrior. Sehr gut. And then we will have a Vlandian... Let's go with a Vlandian Infantry, actually. Apparently I have a Vlandian Billman as well. I think I was just playing around with the tech. I think I was playing around with the upgrade trees, just seeing what there was. I keep trying to remind myself that I started this playthrough on release day, and so I was probably just interested in seeing as many units as possible and just seeing what was on offer, because we have kind of a disorganized force right now. I don't know who I want to play as. I haven't really decided here yet. If there's anything that I can trade, I would recommend doing that right now, since we have wounded. We're not going to be fighting anyways. They produce grapes here, so if you're looking to like boost people's morale, you can pick up grapes here in Pencanic. They usually have butter for reasonably cheap. Not like super cheap, but kind of. Let's see here. They've got really cheap clay, and we can take that up to Carbansith, although we can't hold enough volume for it really to be worth it. We sort of want to move objects that have a high... So we want to move objects right now that there aren't very many of them, but they have a high margin of profit, because we don't have a lot of storage space. Picking up a couple Sumters or a couple Mules would probably fix that issue. Yeah, it looks like we get 100 carrying capacity for each of those, but honestly, we'll take it slow. Is there a tournament? Let's do a tournament. Let's fight in the tournament. Let's do it. Let's see if we can get ourselves some rare gear, some goodies. Alright, so in the first round, we are fighting against Ciaramus, who is a hero. This might be a little rough. We'll see how it goes. I haven't warmed up today. Oh, he powered through. There we go. I had to get him in the head because his armor was so thick. We're solid right here. We're solid. I got this. We just got to kind of like stay on it, you know what I mean? We'll skip that round. Oh, we're fighting a Battanian Fion next time? Ew, that's going to suck. Let's go. Oh, it's 2 guys. I'm going to get shot with an arrow. I got to protect my archer here. Oh, he's down. Never mind. Okay, so we got to run up on this dude right here. Hopefully he doesn't notice that I'm running up on him. Come on. There we go. Put him down. Actually, the Fion looks like it was on my team. That worked out really, really well for me. Never mind. I thought I was going up against him for some reason. We'll skip that round, and it's me and the Fion against a skirmisher and a horseman. We should be fine. Although it is important to note that I just picked up the bow, so I'm not going to... Oh, that would have been a headshot, too. All right, me versus the Fion. We're going to see if they turn this into a bow round or not. Hopefully not. This Fion, though, he's a really, really high-tier unit, like a tier 6 unit, so... Actually, I think the Fion might be... Oh, I hesitated. Man, he likes those swings, huh? He really likes those right swings. He was really dedicating to those right swings. He was not letting it go. We won. So there, we won the tournament. Very nice. One more renown, and we're going to be at clan level 1, which means that we'll be able to have 50 troops and a whole bunch of companions, which will be good. We got a Rumphalia, My recommendation with the Romphalia is this. Smelt it. Don't sell it. So when you go to the store, this is going to be made out of like Temerian steel or something like that. I forget what it's called. It's really, really good. But my recommendation is you smelt it down so that you get the raw Temerian steel. This sells for $650. If you break this down, you should get 2 Temerian steel and some normal steel, which will sell for like $1,200. So that's my advice, is smelt this down, although their hardwood is super expensive here. So we're going to do our smelting up in Carbanseth. We're going to go back up to Carbanseth, and we'll do our smelting and delting there because it doesn't seem like a good idea to do it here, paying triple the price for hardwood. So the smelting process, very simple in this game. It's just kind of, you have to know about it. So what you need to do is you go on into here, you're going to buy yourself some hard wood, some good hard wood, just like the internet likes to have, okay? You're going to want that to be in an even increment. So we got 16 right there. We go into the smithy. We take that hardwood, we got to turn it into charcoal. Bow, 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 bow. There it is. We got like 9 levels. Be careful because you have stamina. So you got to watch out for your stamina. We're at 52 stamina out of 100 right now. Going to go back over to smelt, and then Romphalia will give us fine steel, Thamaskene steel, and normal steel. So there you go. And so now what you do is you take this on in here, and you see what I mean? 540, 300, 161. See what I mean? The thing itself was only worth $650. You sell it this way, you'll get $1,000. And I don't even know if we're going for a good price right now, is the thing. Like, we might be underselling right here. Let's take a look and see what their iron ore costs here. Their silver ore is dirty cheap. We can take that down to Pencanic. Let's do it. Oh, we can take that to Pencanic too? Yup. We got options right now. We got options right now, chat. We got money just flowing out of our ears. Making things all easy, just living life on Easy Street. You know, and it's Easy Street. Oh, actually, we were selling it at a bad price. Well, there you go. We'll sell all of this stuff here. Apparently, Dunglanis was a better price for that, but, like, I'm lazy and I don't want to go that far. I think Dunglanis is literally, like, 5 feet away, though, so I'm probably going to look stupid. There we go. We got another trade skill point. We're starting to stack up some money. One of the little UI things that you need to know about is, so if you go to the tavern, you've got these little guys right here. If you right-click on them, you can see their stats before you hire them without having to dig through the encyclopedia to find them, in case you were wondering. Oh, we have a doctor over here. Interesting. I might actually pick her up. We could definitely use a doctor. A doctor and a scout. Sort of like principal members of your battle force that you need to have. Let's see here. Women suffer greatly when warriors have sport. I lived in a village to the north of here across the gulf. It is a cruel land, and there is no strong king, and lords think nothing of ravaging their neighbors' lands. My mother was skilled in the use of herbs to treat disease and wounds. I had a happy and peaceful childhood until one day a month before I was to be married. See, this is her D&D backstory right here. My life changed. A band from a nearby village came and attacked us. We had done them no harm. We had never even thought of them as our enemies, but they wanted our cattle. They killed my mother and the youth that I was to marry and burned our village. Everything gone. Those who lived fled into the woods. I expect that my kin will soon be back to their homes, but I will not. I cannot be in a place where I'm at the mercy of any beast on the rampage. I will ply my trade among warriors. I will learn to harm as well as heal, and if the time comes for me to marry, I will live in a land where there is a king, even a tyrant, rather than raising a family amidst the war of all against all. All right, well, $1,400 to settle up with her. All right, well, she's a surgeon, so I'll take her. Like, you got to have a surgeon. One thing that you'll want to do once you pick up a surgeon is go to your clan menu. If you've got decent stewardship, assign yourself to quartermaster. He's my scout, right? Did he have scouting skill? He did have scouting skill. We have a scout. Very cool. And then she will be my surgeon. All right. We're looking pretty good. At some point, I'm going to need to equip these companions because right now they're looking a little bit scuffed. I don't know if I want to spend the money on it right now, though. Maybe. Move her back up to there. Oh, yeah. Was that bandit base still up here? That might be an easy play for an easy paycheck. Like, I think it had, like, one guy in it the last time we went past there, right? 4 forest bandits. Let me see if I can get a quest. We can easily do that. Let's see here. Maybe Torliad. Like, someone will have a quest here to kill this bandit lair, and we'll get paid, like, an absurd amount of money for it. Really? None of you have a quest to kill that? Interesting. Okay. Tormalina, maybe? No. Nobody has a quest to destroy the bandit base. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to destroy it anyways. I mean, there's only 4 guys there. Let me rearrange my army real fast to make sure that we have, like, all the best people at the top. Like, the people who are most suited for the job. I mean, it's just 4 guys, so we should pretty much waffle stomp these dudes. Let's wait till nightfall. We'll take them out. I'm doing this specifically just because I want the armor drop. They might drop some chainmail or something. It probably won't be a super profitable fight, but it might be. You never know. I've had some pretty crazy stuff drop out of here. We're going to have these guys follow you. When you start off a bandit raid, your guys are on hold fire by default, so you'll want to press F4 to put them on fire freely. Apparently the 4 guys here are the only ones that were here, so I guess I just get to duel the bandit king. Let's do it. I will duel you, sir. Yep, that's a lot of damage right there. You're just going to keep soaking that? Yeah, you're just going to keep soaking that right there? You're just going to take that hit? That's what's up? What you got to say to me? What you got to say to me? Uh-huh. Hold on, let me get this right over here, and then, oh, give him the bags. There it is. Yep, giving him the bags. And that should be our clan rank 1 right there. Yeah, Schultz tier is increased to 1. Very nice. We got his axe. We didn't get any of his other stuff. The axe will probably smelt down into something good, but I didn't want his axe. I wanted, like, his armor or his helmet or, like, his shoulder pads or something. Either way, apparently we got a ton of skill point in charm, which I guess you get from dueling the bandit king. All right, was not aware of that. Now I am aware of it, though. I don't know how I didn't notice that in 60 hours, that you get a ton of charm points just for killing bandit hives. The other benefit is all of the neighboring villages will now like us a lot more too. Like, all the neighboring villages are going to be super stoked about the fact that we did that. And so we should get some relation, yeah, with that guy right there, for example. You'll get some free relation with the lords that are around whenever you do stuff like that. Quick things that you need to know about. If you wanted to edit your character's appearance, press the V key. If you wanted to edit your banner once you're in-game, press the B key. There you go. In case you didn't know about those 2 functions, they are there. If you wanted to move around the map quickly, just double-click. And then I think that's about it for today. Hopefully some of the tips and tricks that I told you here today were useful. Hopefully you're able to observe something that will help you out in your playthrough. But aside from that, my name is Splattercat. Thank you for hanging out with me as I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games. Mountain Blade Warband was one of my favorite games of all time, so Bannerlord is equally as fun for me. I'm really enjoying myself. I hope we can keep this going for a while. I'll see y'all next time. Take care, everybody, and don't work too hard.